One of the most powerful institutions in America is undergoing a drastic shift, and it's raising serious concerns. The U.S. military has quietly withdrawn from key black recruitment events, aligning with Trump's push to dismantle diversity programs. Is this the first step toward racial exclusion in the armed forces? Let's break it down. The military's recruitment shift. For many years, the U.S. military has relied on top talent in fields like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, to maintain its strength. One of the most important recruitment opportunities has been the Black Engineer of the Year Awards, BEYA Conference. This event has allowed military recruiters to connect with highly skilled black professionals who excel in engineering, cybersecurity, and other critical areas. By attending, the military ensured that talented individuals from diverse backgrounds had opportunities to serve, strengthening both national security and technological advancements. However, in a surprising shift, the military pulled out of this conference under new directives from the Trump administration. Officials claimed that attending a predominantly black event conflicted with Trump's stance against diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs. His administration has argued that all hiring and recruitment should be race-blind, even though these changes disproportionately impact minorities. Critics say this policy is not about fairness, but about reducing diversity in one of America's most important institutions. This decision represents a major change in the military's recruitment strategy. Without active efforts to recruit from diverse talent pools, fewer black professionals may join, leading to less representation in leadership roles. Over time, this could significantly alter the makeup of the military, making it less inclusive and less reflective of the country's diverse population. The question now is, what impact will this have on military readiness, innovation, and morale in the years to come? Trump's crackdown on diversity initiatives. Since returning to office, Trump has made it a priority to dismantle DEI programs across the government and military. His administration claims that these programs give unfair advantages to minorities and should be replaced with race-blind policies. However, in practice, these changes have disproportionately affected Black, Latino, and other non-white individuals, limiting their opportunities in government and military roles. By removing targeted efforts that promote diversity, the administration is reshaping institutions in a way that reduces minority representation and influence. One of the most controversial moves came when Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued an order banning the recognition of Black History Month, Women's History Month, and other diversity celebrations within the military. The justification given was that these events create division instead of unity, suggesting that recognizing different racial and cultural contributions weakens the armed forces. Critics, however, argue that these celebrations have long played an important role in honoring the history and sacrifices of minority service members. Without them, an important part of military history is being erased. This policy shift is not just about events. It reflects a broader effort to eliminate diversity-focused initiatives altogether. By removing these recognitions, the administration is sending a clear message: diversity is no longer a priority. Critics believe this is not about promoting fairness, but about erasing representation and making the military less inclusive. If these changes continue, what impact will they have on recruitment, morale, and the future leadership of the armed forces? The impact on military diversity. The U.S. military has always been one of the most diverse institutions, with nearly half of its personnel being non-white. Black and Latino service members have played essential roles in areas like engineering, intelligence, and combat operations, contributing greatly to national security. However, recent policies that remove targeted recruitment efforts for black professionals could drastically change this balance. Without these initiatives, fewer minority candidates may join, leading to a less diverse military. Over time, this shift could impact leadership representation, weaken overall readiness, and create a force that does not fully reflect the diverse population it serves and protects. Experts warn that these changes could have severe consequences. The strength of the U.S. military depends on its ability to recruit the best and most skilled individuals. For decades, the armed forces have actively sought out talent from all backgrounds to ensure a highly capable and diverse force. However, by removing recruitment efforts that focus on black professionals, the military risks losing highly qualified engineers, scientists, and leaders. This could lead to a decline in military readiness, as fewer skilled candidates will be available to fill critical roles in areas like technology, intelligence, and cybersecurity. Without access to the best talent, the military's ability to respond to global threats and challenges could weaken over time. Another major consequence of these changes is the potential decline in black officers in leadership roles. Many black military leaders started their careers through ROTC scholarships and other targeted recruitment programs. These initiatives have helped create a more diverse and representative leadership structure. However, if these programs are dismantled, fewer black service members will have the opportunity to rise through the ranks. Over time, this could lead to a leadership gap, where the military's top decision-makers do not reflect the diversity of the enlisted personnel they command. Critics argue that these policies are not just about recruitment, they are about shaping the military to align with a specific political agenda. By reducing the number of minorities in leadership positions, the military could become more ideologically conservative. This shift could have long-term effects, influencing military decision-making and its relationship with civilian leadership. If diversity is reduced, how will this impact the military's ability to serve and represent all Americans? A strategic political move. Trump's actions against DEI programs are not just about policy changes, they are part of a larger political strategy. His base, which is primarily made up of white conservative voters, has long argued that diversity initiatives give unfair advantages to minorities while disadvantaging white Americans. By dismantling these programs, Trump is reinforcing a narrative that suggests diversity itself is problematic, rather than an asset. This messaging appeals to voters who believe that race-conscious policies have gone too far and should be eliminated. While these changes are happening across many sectors, the military is a particularly strategic target. Unlike political analysts suggest that restricting diversity efforts in the military is not just about recruitment. It's about reshaping the racial and ideological composition of the armed forces. Historically, the U.S. military has been one of the most diverse institutions in the country, with large numbers of Black and Latino service members. These groups tend to vote more Democratic, making them less likely to align with Trump's political ideology. By weakening recruitment efforts that attract minorities, Trump's policies could lead to a military that is less diverse and more politically conservative. Over time, this could shift the balance of power within the armed forces, ensuring that leadership and personnel are more aligned with his administration's views. What do you think about the military's decision to withdraw from black recruitment events? Share thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth discussions on critical issues.